G'day. Today we're doing a service on a Toyota Landcruiser 200 series, and it's got the AB60E six-speed auto transmission in it. It's in the same family as the A750, 760 transmissions, so it's similar but different. This one's the turbo diesel or V8 version. So we're just going to drop the oil out of it and drop the pan. So while we've got it up, we're just going to test, or have a look if the unis are worn, front and rear. Check the oil level in the transfer case and just inspect for any leaks anywhere. It looks pretty good. You also got this front tail shaft for the four-wheel drive, front and rear unis. And we're lucky with these ones, you can actually get the pan off without removing the cross member, so there's plenty of access there. Now to drain the oil, you remove this lower plug here and that'll just drain the oil out. To fill it, there's a little plug on the side here, so you're filling it in there, and there's a little sleeve in here, and that's where it measures the height of the fluid level. We'll show you that later in the video. Okay, just for reference sake, here's a diagram of the valve body and the solenoid identification. You can see here what they are, and just to note, the SL1 and the SL2, this one here and up here, they're actually the same solenoid, so they're interchangeable. And also the S1, which is this one here, and the S3. So the SL1 and the SL2 and the S1 and the S3, they're interchangeable. All the other ones are different. Just in case you ever have a problem, you can get on the Sonax site here. You can see that they are a fairly complicated transmission, but it just shows the operation of the solenoids there through all the gears, which ones are applied, and also the clutches. Over here they call those clutch packs brakes. There's no bands in this transmission at all. It's just clutch packs and sprag clutches or one-way clutches. But this information's free on the Sonax SONNAX website, and you can look up this sort of information. It's a great reference point, and they also have a great variety of improvement kits, or if your valve body's worn out, you have ream kits and put oversized valves, etc. in there. Okay, we've got the filter out. It's just 4 little 10mm bolts, and we're just going to make sure that all these connectors are in securely. It's a good idea to just give them a little bit of a wriggle. That there's just the coil floating around in the canister, so you don't have to worry about that if it's loose, if it moves like that. And also it's a good idea to just double check that these aren't going to rub through on the pan. They usually have this plastic cover there just to protect the wiring anyway, but that's basically it. Whoever did the service previously, they put a green full synthetic fluid in there, so when we put our Tritec or Penrite stuff in, which is red, it's going to make it a nice purple. You can see the pan, a little bit of fuzz on the magnets there, the 4 magnets, but it doesn't look too bad. And these also have a rubber hand gasket, and they've also got these little spaces there, so you've got to make sure you put those in, or when you do it up, it'll tighten that rubber too much. These sort of stop it from being crushed too much. So we're going to clean up the magnets, clean the pan, replace the filter and pan gasket, and Bob's your uncle. There's not much else you can do on this transmission unless you've got a problem with it. Okay, here we've got the pan seal, and in the kit you'll get these little spaces as well, so don't forget to put them in. If you try and put it in without the spaces, you'll end up squashing that pan seal. The filter is a little bit different. This one has this little bit here, and as per usual with the magnets, we always like to leave them up on the ridge just so you've got more surface area working with the magnets like that. And that's a little tube that measures the height there for the fluid level. And also make sure you've got this O-ring there as well. Sometimes they're missing out of the kit, but make sure that's there. If that doesn't seal properly, you're going to be sucking air. And you can see where the pickup is fairly low on that filter. There we go, we've got all those in. Just double check it. And today we're using the ATF full synthetic LV, low viscosity, and that one is equivalent to the Toyota WS type fluid, which is what's recommended for this vehicle. So we're going to leave the plug in there for the moment, and we're actually going to put probably about 4 litres of fluid in, and then we can start the vehicle up and keep it running, and then take this plug out and we'll just keep filling it until fluid is coming out of here. Without the motor running, I've just put 4 litres in, and now we're going to just start it up, and then we can take that plug out and just make sure we've got enough in there. Yeah, rightio. Go a little bit over full, so I can put the plug back in there now. It's also important to not get it over about 50 degrees because the oil will expand. So today we've got about a pretty warm day today. I think it's about 38-40 degrees, so it won't take long for that to warm up to 50 degrees. So the oil's just started trickling out. And now I'm going to put the plug in, go for a bit of a drive, and then we'll just check it again, but making sure that it's not over 50 degrees. If it is over 50 degrees, you've just got to sit and let it cool down and then check it again. You can see it's on about 45 degrees and it was just trickling out. So what will happen when that gets up to 50 degrees, it'll expand, so even more fluid will come out. So on a hot day like today, you can't warm it up, or it'll warm up very quickly, so you've got to do it as quickly as possible. And like I mentioned, if it goes over 50, just let it cool down and then test it again with the motor running. Anyway, hope that helps. Not a difficult service to do. And that was our first video 2019 after a 3-week holiday. Thank you for watching. We just went slightly over 50, so we've let it cool back down. I've had the plug out and the fluid's just trickling out, so that's the correct level. You can turn it off Now when you're doing a job like this, because you're taking different plugs and that off, just also make sure you double check that you've retightened everything. The drain plug, the fluid level plug, and also your filler plug.